Let's talk about interest rates.
Yeah.
Good time to refinance your home or another
Absolutely.
item?
I mean, interest rates are at a one-year low, so I mean, you're starting to see some some payment relief. So somebody who maybe purchased their house a year ago or even 6 months ago, interest rates are lower than where they were at that point. So a lot of times people think that there's a lot of costs and things like that, possibly out of pocket. Expenses to borrowers, and the reality is more than likely we could roll those into the cost of the mortgage, reduce your payment, and obviously save you thousands of dollars over the course of that term. So there's a lot of advantages out there with this reduction of interest rates, not only just to refinance, but also to purchase houses. Purchasing power is great. The market is hot. It's a good time to buy or refinance.
Now, there are national lenders as well as local lenders. Yeah. What's the difference? You're a local lender,
We're a
right?
local lender serving the tri-state for about 20 years. The biggest difference, in my opinion, is our ability and our willingness to work with you and how we're trying to build a relationship with you. You're not just a number. When you're working with a national lender, they're sitting in a cubicle somewhere on the East Coast or the West Coast. We're sitting across the desk from you. We're developing a relationship, a rapport, a responsibility to make sure that we're doing the right thing for you so that hopefully we can continue to serve you, your family, your friends. So that's the biggest thing. Not to mention our interest rates are fantastic. Our terms are fantastic. We compete in that same arena with them all the time, but at the same time you get that local touch and the accountability that we love to talk about.
Also, down payments, they're an option. Talk about that, because that's a big deal.
Yeah, a lot of times people will not even pick the phone up to give us a call because they think, well, I don't have enough money for a down payment. And the reality is there's programs out there with zero down. So there's zero down programs. There's 3.5% down. There's a ton of different things that are out there for borrowers. They just have this misconception that I have to have 10% down or 20% down. The reality is, give us a call. There could be a loan program for you that could become making you, a homeowner versus a renter.
Okay, before we go to the break, tell people exactly. You're located throughout the state.
Well, yeah, we've got, so our headquarters is here in Evansville, so 501 North Cross Point, so we're down by, obviously the new Costco, Sam's Club, so on the corner of Cross Point and Virginia, so super, great location. We've also got some locations in Bloomington as well, so 2 locations there. So we've got a lot of opportunity. Even if somebody's in Indianapolis or northern Indiana, we could still help them. With technology now, still a awesome opportunity.
Talking again, Aaron Cashmer, talk about an awesome opportunity. Call these numbers on with Ask the Expert guest, Aaron Cashmer with Mortgage Masters. Mortgage Masters of Indiana. People say there's a misconception about Mortgage Masters. What is it?
Yeah, I always like to have this conversation because we get this question a lot. Are you a broker or are you a banker? And the answer is we're a mortgage banker, all right? But because we don't have bank in our name or a credit union in our name, people think that there's some sort of difference between us. But in reality, we have 3 in-house underwriters. We're lending our own money, right, making our own credit decisions, responsible credit decisions, mind you, for the tri-state. So we're not a broker, we're a banker, just the same as the people that you go and take your paychecks to that are depository banks. So that's one big difference that I want people to understand is that, I guess I say difference, but in reality, we're the exact same thing, making responsible credit decisions with our own underwriters, with our own money. And I want people to understand that we are that same person or that same institution, and it's really a key.
And that's the key to the local touch.
Absolutely it is.
Also, lots of millennials here in the tri-state, and boy, they are home buyers.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
I think it's a positive for the tri-state as a whole, right? I mean, I think you're seeing, obviously with UE and USI, you get, the college graduates, absolutely great schools, and these millennials are staying here because, one, the jobs are good, and the housing market's good, and there's a lot of positive things out there to become a homeowner versus renting. I always say throwing money away to rent. Doesn't mean everybody's a homeowner because there's certainly a time and place for that. But with interest rates down, some of the mortgage programs and down payment things that are out there that I've touched on, it's a great time to buy. And again, you're seeing a lot of that with the millennials, and it's really great for the tri-state.
What's the biggest change in the mortgage industry, do you think, just since the time you've been?
Yeah. So the biggest one was, in 2008, 2009, you had the meltdown, right? So you saw, to basically that joke, you fog a mirror and you can get a mortgage. Well, that pendulum swung the other way, and those underwriting guidelines really tightened, and rightfully so. I think it's a great thing for people to understand that, when you're going through the process of buying a house, underwriting guidelines could be tight. And I think it's at the time when you're going through it, it could be, kind of a challenge. But to understand that your neighbor and their neighbors went through that same thing, to hopefully avoid, that mortgage meltdown and what happened, and then obviously all the trickle-down effect with the stock market and unemployment and things like that. So I think that's been the biggest thing, and I think it's been a positive change. It's just something you got to work through.
Give the people a number for Mortgage Masters of Indiana.
Yeah, 812-477-8000 is our local number. And of course, you could reach us on mortgagemastersofindiana.com or, of course, the 14 app. And we'd love to take that phone call. And again, it's a free consultation. Why not?
Why not is indeed. And you can reach Aaron Cashmer and the people of Mortgage Masters at 14news.com. Aaron, as always, thanks for your expertise.